live. We're ready. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Digestif. Happy holidays. Christmas episode.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, gang.
Christmas episode, special episode today to talk about the holidays in our culture, right? As always, I'm comedian sommelier Sam Mushman, Robbie Sco to my left. And Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Please put green hair dye in Seth's scalp. How are you?
We did it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm green.
You made that decision at some point. What was going through your head while it was happening?
The bitches. No.
Are you getting more gigs where you're trusting that you don't have to be employed?
No, music gigs. Yeah, we're good.
Good.
It works for the musicianship.
You know, and it's not really a full green. It's more of a forest green. It has a bit of a forest. It's kind of like
it was
like
brighter.
an olive green.
It's getting darker. It's fading. My black's coming in under it.
Yeah.
One haircut, it'll be mostly gone.
Well, you're still kind of racially ambiguous. Like I'm still not even convinced you're black, but you know we could talk about that.
Well, that's because you haven't seen.
Well, so you dyed the hair green for the holidays. Is that the reason, or
the holiday of Halloween?
True. Okay, so we're segueing this into Christmas.
And I believe there was a skydiving costume element behind this.
There was a skydiving. There was a plan.
Have like a crazy anime costume.
Sure.
While skydiving.
Speaking of that, Robbie Sco, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Talk to me about how the skydiving ended up going. Was it successful?
We're here. We're here. That's
very fun. Very fun. Survived. Great experience by all parties.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. I think it's important to give our thoughts because we have all very different opinions, and so do our listeners, about certain trends during the holidays. And I think there's certain trends that are becoming a little more fun and controversial. The first one being the corporate holiday party. And I think that's a good one for us to dive into if both of you agree. Just because, coming from the food and beverage and entertainment world, we are around this the entire month of December, right? And it's a fun marker to really check the heartbeat of these companies, see how they're doing, how the year went, how things are being achieved or not being achieved. Because there's a lot of tells, right, of whether this company or even this industry had a good or bad year based on the company holiday party, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there's a couple variables, right? First and foremost, who's invited, right?
Oh, yes.
Is it all employees or is it just corporate office, baby?
Execs.
If it is just corporate office, then they are running a Ponzi scheme that is one step above slave labor. That's what is essentially going on in a corporate setting, right? Just having the holiday party for the corporate office. Those are fun because those are parties of 15 or less are the main corporate office, right? And then you have the fun ones where you bring everybody to the fucking table. Mailroom's invited, right? Downstairs, garbage guys are invited. Some of the housekeeping people, let them come in, right?
Exactly.
Before you get to
parties. Before you get to the fun one, I played like that exact one at like 15 to 20 for a certain, DJ Brian S.
Sure.
And then, he's like, this is my real estate company. These are my employees that work for my...
Yeah. He wasn't convinced you believed him. And that is what I want to dive into. And thank you, Robbie Sco, for the win, because that is a version of a company that's not really 100% real. And I think the next variable is who's paying, right? Is there a budget? Is there a corporate card? That's how you know, okay, things came together this year. We're post-COVID. We're starting to produce profits. We have an actual accounting department. And even though, Betsy, the accountant's going to get a little lit up on that rum-infused eggnog, we all know that's coming. She's still there with the expense card. And they have to spend X amount of money or they're not going to get it again. That's how you know, okay, the year was fine. And I talked about this last year, and I feel like we didn't go into it enough because I think it's a good concept. Not enough people talk about the corporate holiday Christmas party. There's so many layers to it, right? And the other side to it is, and it's usually comes from not the guy that's in charge, but he's like the leader for the day. This is how you know this company's propped up on stilts and nothing's actually existing. It's always that kind of skinny white guy, right? And he's kind of has a little more Mediterranean undertones. He might be Greek, he might not. He might be like Croatian. He just goes tanning twice a week, and then blows cocaine, right? But he's always like a small, nimble, 0% body fat, built like Robbie without any talent, right? Like imagine Robbie without an ounce of talent. You have the body type of this man, right? And he always wears like it's the tight small suit. It's like a children's small, and it fits him like a glove. And he comes in and he grabs whoever the bartender or host is or comedian is or musician is on their party, and he gives them the 411. He goes, at the end, he tells the restaurant guy, when you bring the bill, we're all gonna split it. We're gonna split it. We're all gonna pay our own tabs. That is how you know if they're splitting the bill, right? If they're splitting the bill for the corporate holiday party and it's less than 12 people, that's how you know for the year of 2022 their cost of goods were higher than their profits. That's how you know. Or their revenue, because there wasn't profits, right? That is how you know. And those are fun because everyone's a little on edge. Everyone's dancing around. They're like, the company is failing. Where do I fit in, right? And they all get drunk out of depression, And the Christmas music's playing, and it's like, jingle bells, jingle bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was playing a different song. Do you know the song I'm trying to play? Maybe we hit that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Silver Bells. Yeah, I hear you.
Can you do Silver Bells? So me and Seth are part of this company, right? And you just hear, well, what I eventually want to do is I want to create my own startup. I want to do what I eventually want to do. I want to invest in the metaverse. I want to do this. What I eventually want to do is I want to buy some land and get into solar. And they're all talking about things that they're not going to do with this company because they don't even know if this company's real. And then the little Mediterranean skinny guy comes by and he's like, is everyone having a good time at the party? How are you guys doing? How was the ride over here? Was there parking? Did you find enough parking?
Yeah, I had to walk a couple blocks, but
good. But it wasn't bad though, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because we're successful.
Yeah.
So it's fine. So what do you think about the game plan for Q1? What do you think? Are we going to focus more on trading, or are we going to focus more on just selling?
That's a great question.
And you have no fucking clue, nor should you, because this has never been discussed before, right? Well, why don't you go to the bar?
It's a great time to ask the question at a holiday party. It'll work.
Well, because these questions are not being asked in the boardroom. Because if it was, there would be a corporate card, but there's not, right? Robbie, thoughts? Am I off on this? Have you experienced anything similar?
Yeah, it's like it's funny you mentioned like the fun party. Even like the mailroom clerks and other people will get involved. Like even they will get asked interesting questions.
Yeah,
if they end up with like the silver hairs, and they just like.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Robbie brings up. It's the one time a year that now Martha in the mailroom gets asked about our profit analysis. What the fuck is Martha going to say?
Like,
Martha, at one time a year, the supervisor goes, "Well, Martha." We're talking a lot about the socioeconomical system for Q1. What do you think?
We want to get everyone's voice in on this conversation.
Because we're all here drinking a little too much spiked eggnog. So let's talk about it, which, by the way, I am currently aging in eggnog. It's really yummy, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, this is what I'm talking, the ShopRite eggnog that you just put a little Myers dark rum into and call it a fucking day. And they get asked these questions, Robbie. You're 100% right about that.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I've noticed too about like the kind of the staling out of anything religious. Like I played a number of not just Christmas parties, but also even I recently did like a hospital benefit fundraiser, which like everything about it besides the song selection was screaming Christmas, but like for the songs,
The
you're like, no,
lights,
yeah, the lights, the trees, the
dressing that people
green, the red
wore,
and green, like
that.
everyone was wearing red and green, but like, yeah, it was just like, yeah, we really wanted to be more like inclusive, so like,
Yeah, that's a big
we
one.
We
can't
want to
have,
be inclusive, so we're gonna exclude everything.
That's a big one. That is half I'm petrified of being sued, and the other half is we got to do something for the party. We got to throw something.
It's all because of Kanye West.
It's not all not because of him.
it's not all not because of
It's definitely all not because of
It's
him.
not.
Yes, 100%. What does it say on the other side too? Though there's the other end of this that's just as evil and fun, and it's when you do have the budget, right? And you go a little above the budget, right? All right, you know what?
Open bar.
Let's grab a couple bottles of nickel and nickel. Let's get some Camus. Let's drink some fucking Whistle Pig 15 year. Let's run the tab up a little bit. You know what? You have the one guy. Now this is a different archetype. You have the first archetype, right? Skinny Greek, unassuming guy who's running a fake company that's failing and nobody knows, right? That's the first archetype. Second archetype, a little more beefy. We have a guy that's a little more of a beefcake. Now, this guy is running a successful company because he has no time to work out. He's too busy making money. But while he's making that money, he does not want to share. And the more successful he gets, the more he realizes he doesn't need everyone. He doesn't need people. So what do you do before a nice mass layoff in the new year? You throw a big party.
Big party. Yeah.
Seth,
You tell them at the end of the middle of the toast, like, by the way, great things coming for the company.
big things coming. That's what you say. Big ideas, big things coming. Hey guys, drink up, be merry. That's what you say. Drink up, be merry. It's all on my tab. Have a good time. Have you experienced that side?
Oh, not I personally, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Well, because we were in the group of being laid off, probably. That's why we didn't realize it was happening.
Well, actually, technically, I was in the group of the performers that.
And this is what's fun, as like I said, because you're the help, right? If you're entertainment, your food and beverage, your kitchen, you're serving, you're managing, you're the help,
the fat
right?
that can be cut.
And the help can see it, right? We're all watching this, and we're all learning more about this company's operations, or lack thereof, as the party goes. And those are the two sides of the corporate holiday party, I think. Is there another side that I'm leaving out? I don't think
Tons of infidelity, but that's
well, now there's
that's
the infidelity side too. There's that side of the sexual tension for the entire year does get built up at the Christmas party.
Palpable.
But you know what though, and I want Robbie to weigh in on this too, because his dick is wet like more than most.
My God.
Most human beings.
I'll tell you.
It's to the point where
This guy
I
fucks.
think it hurts him when he comes because he doesn't have any semen left. But the point is, I want to get Robbie's take on this. You know, I think that's more of a 90s, 80s, 90s thing you hinted on. The old school Christmas party, they were always big budget on the house, and there was always infidelity, right? But now with social media, with everything being able to be streamed in our stories, it's so easy for you to get your shit blown up if you're doing that at a corporate party.
It's
not
true.
saying it doesn't happen, right? But I think there's a little less of that now, right? It's more so because the parties aren't as fun anymore.
They're taking less risks.
Yeah,
They're
we
taking
got
less
these
risks and kind of making it
Instagram
more
detectives.
like palatable in a lot of ways. Like even getting rid of the certain types of music, or getting rid of certain types of festivities or like things because they make it just more appealing and safe.
Gray.
100%. 100%. So as we dive into it, the other thing I wanted to dive into now, thoughts on as we continue, thoughts on Christmas music. This one I think should be more argumentative than it actually is. When do you start playing the Christmas music as a musician, as an operation? When do you start getting into the real Christmassy music? What date is that?
Christmas music. So we're gonna leave Christmas music right here. There's one thing I wanted to mention. So my new roommates moved in and works for like a tech company, kind of like trading company, and like their competitor, talking about like throwing like huge parties for like their employees. Their competitor rented out all of the Disney parks in Florida, plus ones, or like plus their whole family, for all of them to like go. So like this whole company, just like I don't know how many 100,000
They're about to
employees or
get
whatever.
fired.
they had like the entire Disney parks for like the like employee like
Now
party thing.
that might not be a layoff. That might be a slaughter. They might be.
They're just gonna murder them at Disney.
They're gonna murder about 200 people. That's kind of like what Bill Burr said with the cruise ships. You know, like they might blow up in one of the parks, because if they blow up one of the parks, they still got 4 left. They got enough employees, but you knock out 200 people. That's 200 potential lawsuits. It's Bill Burr's exact same thing he said about the cruise ships. It's the same premise. You're just transferring it to theme parks. So that's where my brain went when you said that. Or it is one of the last Mohicans. There are companies, obviously, and they've done a lot of evil to stay at this level. But there still are companies that do the high-end, no-holds-bar Christmas party. It's beautiful, I think, when you're a part of that. But the vast majority are small. I think Seth said this on one of the episodes, a small get-together. It's a get-together.
Yeah.
And I think you said that last year
been known
when
to
we
say
talked about this same topic.
Yeah.
The Christmas parties have gone from a party to a passive-aggressive get-together where it's how can we one-up each other as we go into Q1, because a lot of shit's about to change.
Yeah, imagine like you're starting like a little song, you know, like oh, hey, there's Jesus in there. Can we do a song without Jesus?
Yeah.
Like one that's more just like about capitalism?
Yeah.
Stick to the capitalism songs.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
are we gonna make money on Christmas? You know, what kind of deals deals?
Well, one good capitalism song, if you really want to go back to like the culture of when women didn't have rights, you know, 1960s Mad Men era, is "Baby It's Cold Outside," and I do want to talk about that. You know, the Christmas music, right? We started too early, in my opinion. I have a vendetta against it
Day
because
after Halloween, sometimes on Halloween.
on Halloween, as early as early November, and to me, it perpetuates delusion. Because Christmas music is intrinsically designed to help you take your mind off of the fact that your husband's probably cheating on you, or, you know, Nana's in the hospital not doing great.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
You've been with the same company for 15 years. You had 4 opportunities in the last decade and a half to leave and take just a smidgen of a risk. And all 4 times you said, no, I'm going to stay real comfy in this cubicle. And now that's all building up because now it's too late to leave because your resume is almost reversing on itself. It's like 15 years at the same place. What kind of a complacent fuck is this? So now you're starting to deal with the other side of it. So you're sitting there and you're sipping spiked eggnog and you're listening to Mommy's Kissing Santa Claus. And it's taking your mind off of the pain. I think that's a big metaphor here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit early. It burns out a lot of people. I think the ideal date, December 4th. Throw in a little Christmas jazz on December 4th.
Yeah.
You know?
Christmas jazz on December 4th. You're not wrong.
And start it with a nice jazz bass, a nice tenor sax in there. Keep it funky in the beginning. We're still 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at with that. You know what we should do? We should do an experiment. I think I want to undress physically and metaphorically the song Baby It's Cold Outside, right? And so why don't, or would you be able, Robbie, to play Baby It's Cold Outside on piano? And we should change the lyrics up a little bit to what the song's actually saying, because this song is about rape. And I just want to make it clear that this is a rape song. So,
One, two,
three.
ready,
I want to go home.
I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
I really got to go.
Not gonna happen.
Just keep saying it. It's really cold and I'm getting hypothermia.
Yeah, well, I know something that can warm you up from the inside.
It's getting a little creepy.
Your parents never hear from you again?
You're a little more stronger than me. I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah, well, that's what...
You're going to have sex with her, whether she likes it or not. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
You're
alert.
going to have sex with her. And that is still with the entire Me Too thing, which I am supportive of. Like, absolutely, of course, right? Why not? And the whole idea of, like, you know, like men can't get away with the same misogynistic bullshit we used to. Well, guess what? We're still chugging along to that song every fucking year.
It's true. There's been some controversy around it, but
Oh man.
yeah.
Oh, I've told you about at least about the Sorry, I've told you at least about the Michael Jackson set list situation, right?
Oh,
do
yeah.
tell. Do tell.
Yeah, so I have some bands like, and like this is a song that was on the set list called "Shake Your Body Down to the Ground," Michael Jackson. Fun, gets people dancing a lot. And it's like with this one band, it was like a funk band. Like that was one of the songs that got people most dancing in this venue. But the year comes, I guess after the documentary came out, Michael Jackson. It's on the set as it comes up, and like the singer and like a drummer were like, "Yeah, I really like, I'm not comfortable playing this song, Michael Jackson. You see the documentary, and then they just like, cut it. Like they refused. They canceled him. They canceled the music of Michael Jackson. Thoughts?
No. I mean, thoughts are if they're doing that song is 10% of "Baby It's Cold Outside." it's more like you might as well call it "Baby There's Semen in My Ass." Like what I don't like. It's just I didn't even notice it too. It's like, and this is just my straight white male brain in my early 20s didn't even recognize the lyrics until I remember I was like 25, and like I'm finishing up one of my final days in corporate America. I was in digital marketing, and they're playing the shit, the music. We're having the early dismissal. Everyone's got their Christmas sweater on. Everyone's deep down, cripplingly unhappy with their personal life, but they're putting on a big smile for Friday, right? And "Baby It's Cold Outside" comes on, and I listen to these lyrics, and that was the first moment where my brain was like, I don't know if this is okay.
Yeah. It's pretty
contradictive towards
pretty forceful,
taking control of the situation. That is one of the things you can say about it. It sure is. I mean, it's the epitome of sexual capitalism, if I'd have ever seen some. Yeah. But Christmas music, we gotta stop. I'm not trying to be too Scroogey, but like, is there any need to play it before December 15th?
I'm weird. I'll listen to Christmas music in July.
Yeah.
It happens.
For sure. Now, what brings you to that point?
Just every now and then I'll see it on the playlist, and I'm like, yeah, let me get some of this.
Do you also, but you're a musician, so one thing we've talked about with you is that you also, I think you listen to music that you think will complement your voice, and you have a very kind of like liquid, cummy type of voice where, there's certain songs. Christmas time is a sexual time.
I love a good Christmas song about sex.
And that's the next thing. Let's talk about both of your penises for a second, because it's the holidays, right? So Christmas time is a sexual-driven time, right? Now, I mean, not when you're a married fuck like me, but the two of you are in the prime of your dating situations. What, as musicians during the holidays, whether you're experiencing a Christmas party, you got that one girl in finance that's a little bit of a shark. She's a hard closer, and she's getting a little too liquored up at the Christmas party.
Hanging around
and she's
the
starting to say
mistletoe.
she really likes your piano. And next thing you know, what do? Do these situations happen more frequently in the holidays compared to other gigs?
It's like a mix of like not quite cuffing season, but like maybe it's cold. I'm gonna talk to someone.
Yeah, everyone's looking for a little space heater.
Space heater.
And with that being said, with what you guys bring to the table, you guys are both very low percentage of body fat, right? Is this a time of year that doesn't benefit the two of you? Are you two? Is your sleigh season spring, summer, fall, and is this the one couple months for those kind of like decent looking, little fucking chubby, every white guy that never worked out, looks like he makes his own bourbon? Is it the month and a half for those guys? Or those guys that kind of show up, they're a little smelly, they wear too much Axe body spray, they always will have a different flannel for each day, and you got a couple of those really rail skinny girls that they have their own emotional insecurities, they see this teddy bear vibe and they just want it for like 6 weeks, right? It's like it's December 15th to Valentine's Day, because they don't want Puffy Bear taking them out for V-Day. By the time Valentine's Day comes, they've moved on to a body type like yours again. Am I wrong about that, or is this a little happy season?
They're usually the ones that are cuffed up by that time.
The chubby guys.
They're the cuffable ones.
Yeah,
I'd say.
but they get but do they get cuffed in the fall, or is this like just you want a little holiday spirit? They're wearing a nice Christmas sweater, and they get some action for like 2-3 weeks.
Well, it's like fall time through the holidays, and then.
What I'm trying to ask you, Seth, is do your numbers go down during holidays, or do they spike? And
this is a question for Robbie, if I'm being
is.
honest.
The only time in which it is like beneficial to have that kind of like a tubbier body set is like if you're just going to the bedroom and cuddling. That is not the case. So maybe like
But baby, it's cold outside.
so maybe the first 15 minutes with me are cold because my body type. But then we get
Once you
bumping and
start moving,
shaking,
once
and
you start
then the
moving,
heat is
the
not an
heat-
issue, and there's
This
probably
is
some
true.
appreciation
You got
for
a
the non-wet
100%.
teddy bear
You got a
situation.
soppy mess. Like,
And it doesn't take much for you to box out the teddy bears of the world. All you need is a space heater. If you just buy a space heater, then everything
in
else
those
you have
first
the
15
advantage.
minutes is
It's like box them out of there one time a year. They have 6 weeks, and like you find a way just by showing that same girl how to entry level code. Now all of a sudden you got her, right? So there's ways around it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like a little chilly up front, and then you get sweating, and it's all problem solved.
Now, do two gentlemen like yourself, right? Who neither one of you have any kind of that teddy bear vibe, right, going on. You guys are both in shape adults, right? Do you invest in a little more quilts this time of year? Do you have a nice comforter, right? Or do you rock minimal sheets still like it's a hot, sweaty summertime? Do you have to readjust your bedroom situation?
definitely gotta lay on the layers.
Yeah.
With the thickness.
I do triple. One, the middle one is very small, which is kind of interesting. So it's like this big, like thin sheet, and like a small, like puffy one.
No, it makes
almost
sense.
like doesn't even fit the queen size
Robbie's
bed.
through and through a triple layer guy. He's got it. He's got to be a triple layer
And a
guy.
double layer, but it's fine. I like it just right when I walk in, just kind of like just throw everything off and just start on a flat surface, and then
So now, talking
Later
about
on.
cuffing season going into the holidays, what does that mean with gifts, Christmas gifts? Do we wait last minute? Do we get a gift? Do we not? If we're stealing the girl from a teddy bear, the teddy bear was getting a gift. Are we getting gifts?
This I actually didn't know if I'd have the opportunity to bring up. I bought this for a girl that I was
And now
seeing
you're using it.
pre like last year, something like that, before the
wondering about
holidays.
that.
And I was like, oh, it'd be great, if we're still seeing each other by Christmas. And it wasn't the
what
case.
Is, so is
And
that
I've held
is that
on
a
to this for a
typical? Is that a
long
typical
time.
gift after you receive Steph's penis? Because I imagine you being actually, because you do have a little more of an emotional side. I imagine you being a dumbed down version of like the Derek Jeter gift basket era, right? After he would have a one night stand, the girl would come downstairs, she'd have a luxurious gift basket, right? Maybe more for you, more of a dumbed down farm to table Somerville gift basket, like a smaller basket, like an Easter basket for someone you don't care about as much, like a smaller one has a couple spiced nuts in it, right? Maybe a little thing of coffee
chocolate,
from
something,
the local indie shop down the street. Is that ever a vibe, or are we still going? Is that all they're getting right there?
Well,
And same
Pretty-
questions coming your way.
I'm gonna be honest. If we were still seeing each other, I'm sure I would have gotten more than this. I bought this so pre-Christmas, like right after Halloween. I think I bought this, and there would have been more, but it was very soon after I bought this.
So
that I
right now,
received
if there's anyone that you're seeing on any kind of consistent level, Christmas in 2 weeks, gift, no gift, yay or nay?
there would be, yes. It's
gonna be a gift.
if that was the case.
If that was the case,
That
it's
was-
not the case currently.
Sadly, no.
Okay, is there a couple different people that we've been seeing somewhat
There actually was
consistent?
gonna be a basket. Actually,
There was going to be
Yeah.
I knew you were a basket
There was gonna
guy.
be a basket.
See, like my sniffer on that is like fucking. I knew he was a gift basket guy.
Yeah, it was gonna be a good basket though.
I bet it was. That's
gonna
why
be-
I proposed that hyper specific question
Yeah,
to
that's-
you because I felt it in my balls. I'm like, gift basket.
Yeah.
I knew it. Robbie, same question.
That's amazing. So the first thing that comes to mind is just like who buying for Christmas. As a recent uncle,
Congratulate. Now that's a whole different
Yeah.
Christmas situation.
yeah. So that
yeah.
stuff I bought like way early. So it's like that stuff's like coming in now. So I'm like, oh, nice. I'll either wrap it or
Yeah.
pay someone to wrap it nicer than me.
Okay.
Because
Gotta always pay someone to wrap.
Yeah.
We're not built.
Or you go with the bag and tissue paper.
Robbie, you are a very talented, capable human being, but in nowhere in your skill set should you know how to rap at a high level.
Yeah. There's no way. He's
should.
too
Yeah,
white to
You don't need
rap.
to.
exactly.
It's not. No one should ever judge you for not knowing how to do that. You spend $15, you get some real hallmark looking woman named Betty to wrap your gift.
Yeah.
That's what she's there for. If not, she's just standing around. You're not utilizing her.
I was 16 at Toys R Us, never wrapped a gift in my life. And Toys R Us offered a gift wrapping service. You could just have people do it. And this lady asked me to do it. She's like, hey, can you help me wrap these gifts? And I said, you really don't want me to wrap these gifts.
That's because now, what were you at Toys R Us? Were you a cashier or were you like a box boy? What was your
Cashier.
job? You were a cashier?
Cashier.
So my first job, it's actually funny you brought that up. My first job during the holidays, I was just started college. I was home for the summer, and my first job was at Pier 1 Imports, that failing chain, right? And this was back circa like 2009, and I was a box boy. And one of the fun things about the job is I was hired with another he was this like kind of juice heady type of white dude, works out every day, not a lot upstairs. I like to say lights on, nobody's home, right? He's awake, but nothing going on upstairs,
Deer
right?
headlights.
Lights on, you're knocking on the door. Why is no one coming to the goddamn door?
Yeah.
That's what this guy's like, right? But he was a lovely hang. We would crack each other up because we were both complete morons, but our job was to unpack the boxes, get the furniture out of the boxes, and then break the boxes down. Now, that was a big step that we slowly started not to do because we found better usages for the boxes, and that usage was building a multi-layer fort in the box room, which we started doing early December. And each week we would build upon it to the point where the first week it was just we had the living room done. The boxes were up. You could walk by and you just saw there was a fort there. And the manager of the store, God bless her heart, she let it go too long. She could have shut it down week one because there was already a fort design. There was the blueprints were there. There was the backyard. There was a living room, and there was a common area. And she saw it coming together, but she just let it go. She thought we'd have enough self-awareness to just say, "Oh, that was fun for today," and break it down. We kept it there, right? And then,
come on.
So week 2, we built an upstairs. We brought over step stools. We put boxes on top of others, and we built a foundation. So now there's a second floor cardboard box fort in the stock room of the Mount Olive Pier 1 Imports, and it was still there. And by the end of the week, we said, you know what? This is we were so proud of our accomplishment. We were like, it's time to furnish the fort. So we started taking furniture that was supposed to be on the floor that the company is trying to sell to people, right? And they had price tags on them, but if it's going in the fort, you can't have the price tags on the furniture. We're trying to furnish our fort, so we would take the price tags off, and we started to furnish the fort with Pier 1 Imports furniture, and we made it look really nice. We had the living room set, nice long
break
table.
room.
Now, the problem with the furniture we were choosing is that Pier 1 was already failing at the time, so they were only giving each store like one backup of every type of furniture. So every type of furniture that was in that fort, when we would sell one on the floor, they were like, oh, we need another Alexandria chair in aisle 3, and I'm like, we're 86. There's no Alexandria chair. The Alexandria chair was my chair in the kitchen of the fort. I wanted
You're sitting in the chair like, yeah, sorry, we don't have it back here.
I'm not going to not pick the Alexandria chair. It has all of that like capitalist British shame wrapped into one chair. That was my goddamn chair. I'm 85% South Brit. I'm not going to not hone in on that, right? So we're sitting there, and the one beautiful moment was when the manager finally said, why are we 86 all these items? It says in the system we have all of these things.
Yep.
And she walked into the back, and I believe the other box boy's name was Kenny. And poor Kenny got too comfortable because I would spend time in our fort earlier on in the day. But once we got into kind of like our business hours, I kind of left the fort alone. I like to just look at it from afar. I was proud of it.
It's there.
I wanted it just to be there. The fact that it was there was enough for me.
Yeah.
Kenny, I don't even know.
He moved in.
Kenny's doing his laundry in the back.
Kenny's mom started looking for him because Kenny moved into the fort. He decided he had keys to the fort. I didn't know we had a lock, right? He moved in, and he was enjoying the living room when our manager was looking for the Alexandria chair. And she finally said, I saw her walk back, and she went, what the fuck is this? And she looked at the fort. She ripped one of the boxes down, and lo and behold, she saw our entire dining room table, our 86 chairs, and Kenny sitting in the throne drinking a protein shake. And she said, will you get the fuck up and get out of this goddamn business? And he got fired on the spot.
Wow.
And then she looked at me. She goes, who the fuck built this? I was like, I don't know. I don't. I mean,
How did she let it go for so long?
exactly. It was ignored for too long.
Yeah.
And it grew a mind of its own. And the other thing is,
It must have been really unassuming.
It was in the back of the storage room. The location was immaculate. It's like when you invest in a property like a mile off the road, right? You could run a satanic cult there because it's just
I can
enough
picture
distance.
going, back room at Toys R Us. Like if it was on the all the way far side.
I was 3 days away from moving in myself, so it was good she shut it down when she did because we were working on the backyard. We finally started getting Pier 1 started selling outdoor equipment and we started taking that because it wasn't in season, and we were like, we need a common area in the backyard. So that's my Pier 1 import story. But what saved my job was that it was the holidays, and I was kind of that unassuming, lanky, awkward, dumb college basketball player. Like, she couldn't be mad at me. I was still cute. I'm not cute anymore. Now I'm just an asshole. But like, the what's it called? The 19-year-old version of me got away with being cute. So she kept me.
The fort killed Kenny.
The fort killed Kenny. I had to take the fort down that day. So
sad. Unlaying the bricks that you set with your own hands.
Yeah, it was a tough thing, but I guess I don't know where I was going with that story. I think the point is it was comparing it to your Toys R Us moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just
wrapping gifts.
I was mentioning I just got so like for the little nephew, that's like the one I got prepared with, and everyone else, the rest of the family, I'm gonna be last minute with and still get him something. But then for like the ladies, it's like just like you're to take away my Christmas music because like I'm like as a jazz lover, like it's a nice way like everyone's listening to Christmas music. It's nice like, oh, I can play crazy chords now because it's Christmas. Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's Christmas though. I'm like, oh, okay. As opposed to everyone else dismissing jazz.
So what you're doing right now has got to be a huge play for you this time of year. Is what you're saying? You play the Christmas song
They'll
for
accept
them.
the jazz.
Yeah,
but that's also a type, right? The type that really needs Christmas music. Is that the type that definitely is the type that needs you? Is that the type that you need?
Yeah, I just guess I get spiteful at the culture for like taking away Christmas music and Christmas parties. So I just like, I'm just not going to get you any gift because that's like religionist or whatever.
So you're a little passive aggressive about the non-denominational gender binary holiday.
How am I going to get you a
reunion.
Christmas gift when people are celebrating Hanukkah?
Yeah, so I'll just get you like a dinner and then maybe that's just a bad way to think.
No, I think there's value to that for sure. The reality is, it's. I use it to my advantage every day because we have these holiday parties that come in and the host it's always real waspy broad, right, comes in and she wants a Christmas tree, and I have every liberal agenda going on in this country right now to stand on to say we can't put a Christmas tree in this room because you may want a Christmas tree, but tomorrow that could be highly offensive to the next Christmas party. So you're not getting a tree. You're getting a non-denominational wreath when you walk in, and I'll give your bartender a Santa hat, and that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
And there is something nice about that because I think for a while it's a holiday that. It's not that it's bad for our society. Christmas is a lovely time of year because it perpetuates delusion. It perpetuates that things are going better than they are. And that's the point of this episode. From the point of the holiday party to how early we play the Christmas music to my fort at Pier 1 Imports, it perpetuates things are going better than they are. And I'm not saying our society doesn't need that. We do, but I do think it's healthy to be aware of it. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. That's the last thing I was going to ask. Like, do you still say happy holidays? I sometimes skip ahead to Happy New Year. Even if it's December 18th, I'll just be like, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I think happy holidays has a nice jing to it. There's alliteration there.
I think happy holidays is also not something you need to say as soon as they start playing Christmas music, Like November, okay, kind of like happy Thanksgiving. I guess if you celebrate that in America, whatever, after that, we don't have to say happy holidays because that's assuming what's first, Hanukkah. That's
Yeah.
like, when is that? The 15th?
See, like, this is what happens when
Like-
Seth doesn't get laid for 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
his energy
It's
just
too-
starts. He starts spouting absurdities, and then he still has green hair. So the reality is, he's got a final closing thoughts for you. What's your January looking like regarding your day to day?
Got some gigs coming up.
Nice.
You know? That's January, New Year. What's the goal?
What is and that should be the next thing. What are the winter goals for you guys from your physical talents to your penises to your home life to everything in between?
Funny thing, we're sharing the stage this Saturday, which is fun. Like
Nice.
double keyboards out
Yeah.
in Atlantic City.
It's gonna be
Double
dangerous.
keyboards.
And I think that'll spring some ideas of like, what would it look like if we like had a on stage presence that wasn't like this corporate cover gig thing
For
that
sure.
we're doing here versus like maybe getting new roommate involved. So like, I think winter is good for musicians to think, at least in this where we have climates and like cold seasons, to think about like what's
What will
next, like
happen.
writing wise and
Yeah.
like, original wise, stuff like
sure.
that.
True.
For sure. Well, with that being said, ladies and gents, this has been the Digestif. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at _Digestif. You get an idea of some clips from the show, get an idea of the flow of the show. We talk about the day-to-day in a couple different fun industries and break down the week. I've been Sam Ushman. As always, you can follow me at Vino _Comic. Mr. Robbie Sco, where can they follow you, hear about you?
Robbie Sco, Instagram, YouTube.
And last but not least, Mr. Seth, what's going on? Where can we find you?
At Recurve Music on Instagram.
Recurve Music. It's named after the shape of his penis. Happy holidays, everybody. Until next time.
Peace.